Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Stiffler Manufacturing. My name is Robert. I'm social media manager of Stiffler Manufacturing, and it has been just an absolutely crazy week this week. As many of you know, we were at SHOT Show. We were there with MMC Armory, talking with reps from MMC, Delta Team Tactical, Davidson Defense. Unique AR was there with us. And just a wild week. So many vendors, distributors, manufacturers, suppliers in the industry that we got to talk to, as well as social media personalities. Pistol Pete, Bullseye Ben, Jack of all trades, Black Rambo. God, I'm so many. My brain's fried on just how many people we've talked to. There's a couple there with not Black Rambo, Jack of all trades, 762 Juice. There's another gentleman, name's on the tip of my tongue. I'll end up remembering it later. I feel bad in the moment. But I'll have a whole list of like people we'll collabed with or that we've interacted with, and I'll do it like a live on there, or another video about it sometime in the future where I have everyone appropriately tagged. But we are back in Arizona, finally. And a bit of excited to be back home, but also a little sad that it's over because it's just 1 week. SHOT Show's just 1 week. It's almost like it doesn't go long enough, but at the same time, almost like it goes too long, Every day, you're looking at like 25,000 steps. Like for those of you that count your steps, you're like, I gotta get 6,000 a day to be healthy. You're looking at 25,000 a day easy, and many people do more. And even when you're not out walking around, you're at the booth, you're standing, you're meeting and greeting people, just walking back and forth in your little cubicle area. And it's just a constant, 5 days plus on your feet. And, it's worth it though, because you get to talk to all these people, meet all these people. And, it's exciting to see what other companies are doing. So many other businesses that we got to talk to. For example, we got to talk to Gideon Optics, Grit Grips, True Aim Sights, Lenny McGill with the Glock store. We got to talk with him. Bill, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. And man, dude, it was wild, Bill. It was wild. Just so many people. Like I was just saying, we got to talk to Lenny McGill over at Glock store. And his kid. And, we got to talk to Dustin over at Grit Grips and SCT Manufacturing. We chatted those guys up. And then, of course, like three that we're dealing with, MMC Armory, Delta Team Tactical, Davidson Defense, there was Unique AR, True Aim Sights. Then there were steel vendors and tool vendors and all these manufacturers. Obviously, we went to the Glock table. Gun Owners of America stopped by there. And so many booths, so many people coming up. Social media influencers, like Black Rambo and Pistol Pete and Bullseye Ben and Jack of all trades and 762 Juice, and just the list of so many people goes on and on. Various gun stores and police departments as well. And yeah, like police departments, they were showing up like, oh man, these slides are amazing. Like, could you guys do like, hey, when we have an officer retire, like, would you guys be willing to do like a retirement slide? And we're sitting there like, yeah, we'll do a retirement slide. Sure. Just let us know, what color scheme you're looking for and, what kind of model you want. You might even be able to get it laser engraved, badge number, name, all that kind of thing. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, we might do that. And it's just so cool meeting all these people and seeing what they want and what they want to do. Lenny over at Glock store, very personable, good guy. Dustin over at Grit Grips, good guy. The SCT team, they're great. And just getting to meet and greet with all these people was pretty awesome. And we couldn't do much on YouTube while we were there. We're having trouble uploading videos, so I'm going to try and upload some this week about some of the photos and videos that we took while we were there. Unfortunately, some of the videos we decided we're not going to do because it just had a lot of it was like a lot of people kept getting in the way of stuff. So like it's that vast. There's like 50,000 plus people there. It's that vast, and So there's some videos that we were looking at, we're like, you know, it's just got too many just like random people. We're not going to do those ones. But there's a few others that, you know, that were okay. We're going to do some of those. And it's just so big. Huge event. I went over and I talked to people at Vector Optics, talked to those guys. Of course, Gideon Optics. Great guys over at Gideon. Of course, I have an Omega Red Dot myself at the shop, and we've shot that, and that's great. Oh, who do we have there? Christopher Lewis, what's going on, brother? But finally back in Arizona driving around, and it's warmer here. Still a little cold for Arizona, but warmer here than it was in Nevada. But, you know, a lot of people, I just posted on Instagram our photo with Pistol Pete and Bullseye Ben. So that's up there. Got a lot of Instagram followers this last week. So we can start doing lives on Instagram now. And so I'm probably going to do that some more, because it looks like we're allowed to handle arms and stuff on Instagram. So I'll probably start doing, you know, short lives there. Enjoying the freeze in Texas. I've seen what people having back east, man. That sucks to be them. Here, I'll show you what I got going on here in Arizona. Let's pop this up, pop that down. Oh yeah, Arizona. Enjoying all that snow. Whew. Look at all that. Green and blue and white clouds. And right now it's at what, 59 degrees? Beautiful. We've got the mountain up here if it'll pop up past the tree line. But if not, that's all right. That's okay. And we'll get that back up there. Green screen. But it was a cool trip too. We got to see a lot of, like, you know, the Nevada nature in Arizona and Nevada. A lot of the landscapes were beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. And it was fun driving. You know, it took like, what, 8 hours because we took stops getting there. Like 6.5 hours because we didn't really take any stops on the way back. You know, not a bad trip. Not a bad trip at all. Oh, yep, there's Gideon. Looking, pulling through photos and whatnot. Gideon had one of our slides at their booth. That was pretty awesome. So did Grit Grips. That was pretty sweet of them. There we go. I'll pop this one up in here. For the meantime, and of course we talked with a lot of 2A personalities, and they're just sitting here like, you know, social media. How is social media doing? Not great. Not great for anybody. A lot of Meta, a lot of Reddit, a lot of YouTube hate on the 2A. I was talking with a few how they've been getting solicitations from like Reddit about, hey, you know, advertise with us, and everybody's just like, why? Why would we ever advertise with you? You guys keep blocking Second Amendment related posts. Like, we're a 2A related business. Why would we advertise with you? And you can never get a rep. Like, hey man, like, if we advertise with you, how do we know this isn't just going to get banned and you guys take our money? And you can never get a rep. So that was funny. That was something I was talking with a lot of guys about, because, you know, it's always networking, always advertising, always meeting and greeting with people, right? And it, you know, same thing happened on Facebook where 2A related businesses were paying for ads, but then their ads didn't go anywhere and they just lost the money. And it's like, but then adjacent businesses that are not 2A exclusive but are familiar with or friendly to the 2A industry have paid for an ad, and their ads actually did something. Their insights were actually showing, you know, net growth in viewership and stuff like that. So there is definitely an attack on the Second Amendment via social media. And just getting a lot of confirmation on that through a lot of the businesses I've talked to, a lot of the other social media and marketing managers that also happen to be at SHOT Show that I was chatting up, and they're all experiencing the same problem. Big companies, little companies, they're all feeling the hurt from it. So yeah, people are looking at moving to Rumble. They're looking for other avenues, but they also recognize that, hey, social media is where it's at. You have to advertise there, and we're kind of stuck with the beast that we have. So that's the unfortunate nature of that, sadly. I was talking with one group. They're like, yeah, one gun tuber got his page shut down, and then the cop showed up to his place to check all his guns and whatnot, and they're like, they didn't find anything wrong, but somebody somewhere still sent them after him, and he can't get his page back. And I'm not going to go to a lot of details, just, I don't know the guy personally, so I can't really comment further than that. That's just the word of mouth. But there is an attack on the industry at all times. And, regardless of who's in office, whoever the president is, or whoever your governor is, or whoever your senators are, stay vigilant. Just because they are having the particular colorful flag that you like, whether that be red, blue, or something else, doesn't mean that they're not going to screw up your Second Amendment rights. They will. They'll come for it. It is a power play, people. Watch out for the black ice, yeah. We watch out for the black asphalt. Mostly it's just the potholes that we have here. Doesn't matter how much money we put into road restoration and maintenance. Can't just seem to get rid of the potholes. Makes you wonder where the money's really going, but hey, is what it is. I'm sure I'm not the only person complaining about that with their city. We're already at 6 inches in Connecticut. Oh my God. Jeez. We're here at 0 inches. Well, I do a lot of reposts and sharing, man, and it's greatly appreciated. It absolutely is appreciated. And not just for like us. If you're seeing like a 2A channel and unless they're doing some weird, crazy stuff, like real sketchy, crazy stuff, yeah, give them a like, give them a share, honestly, because it's not like the algorithm's doing them any favors. I mean, look at me right here. I used to get hundreds in just doing drive lives, and it's just us chilling. But just us chilling is a pretty cool group. You guys are always fun to have around. So that's where I'm probably going to hit up Instagram more and Rumble more. Probably not for drive lives. It's real easy to do it with YouTube. Drive lives on other platforms, not as easy. It's just the way it's set up mobily. It's not as easy to do. And I don't want to be touching the phone and stuff, driving. Yeah, like Mud and Munitions. I got to meet Mud and Munitions when I was at SHOT Show. He does a lot of drive lives. But he's not touching anything either. He's got everything mounted. And he does a lot of them from YouTube because it's easy to do. It's way easier to do. Oh, and there's not even like a little vacation recovery period. We took the week for SHOT Show, and we're already back in the shop. Brian and Justine are at the shop right now. I'm out driving. I had to pick up a vehicle, and I'll head back over to the shop later. And the business never ends. Like, yeah, there are employees taking care of things while we were gone, but it doesn't end. Got to get back to it. Got to immediately get back in the shop. And we got some orders to handle. We took orders before we left for SHOT Show and during SHOT Show. So we got to get those out and ready to run. On the road again. But yeah, if you guys got questions, I'll do like sitting at my desk live with slides and stuff again later. Either later today or maybe Monday. I'll sit at the desk and we'll be able to do a proper Q&A. But yeah, always feel free to ask questions. Maybe I should set it up as a schedule. I'll do a scheduled QA later. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it on Instagram. Who knows? We'll see how we feel. But Instagram was great for just quick posting while we were at SHOT. YouTube not so much, and some of the others not so much. We were able to post to some of the Facebook groups. But Instagram was real great during SHOT, so that's becoming a great short posting content platform for us when we're on the move. And we're already planning SHOT Show for next year. You know, lessons learned, what more can we do, how can we improve the booth, what kind of swag are we going to bring, you know, because we brought poker chips and we brought patches, and then you know, when we were there with MMC Armory, there were tactical pens and magazine bands that were being given out. And it's like, okay, well, what about next year? What are we doing next year? And you know it's already a year away, so it's like, oh yeah, we don't have to worry. No, we got to worry about it. We got to, you know, start figuring stuff out. You know, how can we pack better? What are we going to take for next year? Who are we going to try to meet up with next year? Hotels and reservations, and it's like, we just got done, but you already got a plan for the next one. One day on YouTube, one day on Instagram. Yeah, I might do it that way too, and then just like float rumble in there too, and that's just how we're gonna have to do it. And you know, we're also looking at like local gun shows too. Like, okay, hey, we've done SHOT twice. Now maybe we start doing local stuff, set up our own booths, and especially if we can sell there. You know, we'll go to those conventions and, you know, bring 100 slides with us and see how we do. Some of the new builds in one of the shorts. Oh yeah, they're great. We got a lot of love on some of the speckles, especially one blend in particular, the Sunset blend. We're gonna do something with that. And then of course some of the new camos we were doing. Yeah, the burnt bronze camo. That is definitely seeing a lot of action at SHOT Show. And then of course some of the more colorful stuff, like we're doing the urban camos. Urban red, blue, and green. Those got some love. And then some of the FX stuff we were doing too really caught some interest. And some of the laser engraved stuff too. Also got to meet Flying Rich and John Crump News again. I mean, we met John Crump last year. I got to finally meet up with Flying Rich. Met up with John Crump again. And we've got it in the bag, in the Pelican case that we have. But we got one of John Crump's patches. He got some of our patches, so that was pretty cool. Got to meet a lot of foreign representatives too. So a lot of Brits, a lot of Canadians. But then also people, you know, from Ukraine, Turkey, Oman, Mongolia. Oh man, who else? Spain, France. A lot of dudes. A lot. China, a lot of Chinese. Brazil. Yeah, a lot of foreign reps there, all looking at stuff. And a common question was, you know, like, hey, Stiffler, do you guys ship overseas? And we don't. We do not ship overseas because of ITAR. But some of the distributors we work with can potentially ship overseas. Like, yeah, we had a guy from Poland who wanted to know if we could ship to them. And so some of the distributors we're talking with, they might be able to do it. It's just not something we do, because there's ITAR regulations with the State Department, and it's like, that's not what we want to deal with. Oh yeah, appreciate it. Oh yeah, definitely networking. Talking with a lot of people. It was an insane amount of people. Okay, it looks like they're not there. We'll do a loop and see if they're there. If they're there, we'll stop. But if not, I'm going to keep driving. some food. I'm hungry. Okay, they're at the shop. Okay. All right, and we're not stopping. We're gonna keep moving. Yeah, definitely a lot of networking, and yeah, that's the whole purpose of it too. Like True Aim sites that I was talking to, they were right near us. New company, they're doing this new thing with sites, and I guess the best way you could describe it is a green dot optic without the optic. So they have like an iron sight setup where you mount the rear sight to an RMR, and then there's the front sight post, and the rear sight reflects a green light on the front sight post. So you can have, like, you know, a green dot when you're aiming up, but without having the glass or the enclosure around that, you know, obstructs your field of vision. So just imagine there's a green dot on your front sight post, and the rear sight is on the RMR cut. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And I think with some practice, you know, it could potentially be a useful tool. Certainly seems like it'd be a useful tool at any rate. There we go. Oh man, so much networking. Oh, my shoulder's kicking my butt too. Did a lot of lifting while I was there, moving a lot of stuff, especially when we had to break down the booth. A lot of steel plates, a lot of bars, stuff that we had to move as a team. And it's not like you're setting down, you know, like you're taking down your booth and then you're moving everything to just a nearby loading dock. No. You're moving everything through the convention from one end to the other end, and then sometimes up ramps, and then you get outside, and then you got to move everything off to where a truck or flatbed or something can pick everything up. And so you are moving and grooving at the end of it. It is just a lot of movement, an insane amount. And at the end of it, a lot of people are exhausted. There was a lot of chaos getting out of SHOT Show. Some issues I noted, because obviously there were a lot of foreign representatives there. Not all of them knew English. Some of them hired translators. And those translators, I guess they stopped working at the end of the event. And so when it came to doing the pack up, those translators weren't there to talk with security, talk with the police, talk with staff and other people there that were setting everything up. And I thought that was kind of wild. Just like, so you had someone who's struggling to communicate, and you know the cops were doing a really great job. Most of the security, I would say, were doing a really great job. There were a few you could definitely tell were strained. Maybe they hadn't done that event before, or Guys, looks like I'm having some kind of heat up issue.